Today is April 25th, 2022. This is Axnick, host of the updates, bringing you your daily GD 2.2 update. There is no news about GD 2.2 today. And yay, we did it! 1 year of daily news. I had my ups and downs throughout the year, but now we're here. Thank you, really. Thank you every single person who even just clicked on the video, liked, or even commented. I want to thank every single person, really. Thank you so much. I'm always so happy reading all of your comments. That just puts a big smile on my face every day, and of course I read them all. You see them when I mark them with a heart. Yeah, it started as a joke, and now we're here. Like, we have our small community, and yeah, that just makes me so happy. Thank you very much. To celebrate the 1 year of daily news, I wanted to give away 5 megahack copies. But unfortunately, Absolute currently has some troubles with the gifting center. As soon as they are available again, we're gonna do it. I will put a notification in the thumbnail so you can see it more clearly, easier. And yeah, but that's not all. Josh, my editor, edited every single 2.2 news episode that we got in the first year of doing this into a huge episode coming up after this speech here. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I really hope you enjoy your stay, and maybe you can even check out our Discord. Super nice, super friendly people. And yeah, thank you so much again. 2.2 is close. Just hold on to it a little more longer. But until then, this has been Today is April 26, 2021. This is Axnick, host of the update. This is Axnick, host of the updates. 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 Your daily GD 2.2 update. That the editor and normal mode connections have been restricted, so the gameplay between editor and normal mode should be 1-to-1. For example, if you add a touch toggle trigger and mark dual mode, player 2 won't jump when you tap the right side of the screen. Second of all, he told us that it's fun to spend orbs in the shops, but he won't spam icons that we have to buy for tens of thousands of orbs. And last one is a short one, we just get blow shaders. First, that the user asked if he can bring back the ship UFO spin glitch, and he said yes in 2.2. Second is that in 2.2 we will have more demon achievements, and that we may see a top demon list in 2.3. And on the last news he said that there's a new system that he likes a lot for getting star rewards. That sounds interesting. 2.2 has an option for playing creator levels in practice mode with normal music, which means no mega hack required anymore. He showed us this, which was made in 2.0, and it is pretty crappy, as he said. He also showed us old background 3D effects, or however you will call that. He also showed us some new blocks. These orange ones with different patterns in it, and these bricky blocks. Okay, now let's see something very cool. Here we see the new style of the new shards called Earth Shard, Metal Shard, Blood Shard, Light Shard, and Soul Shard. Pretty cool. And last but not least, he gave us a screenshot with 5 new ships, which is also pretty cool. Rob showed us the history of the average and peak in players since the start, and there we can see that even the game did not got an update for almost 4 years, the player count still rising, and we even got multiple peak on players. That's crazy. I hope the servers are prepared for the 2.2 launch. People have been requesting colorblind support and also talking about mixing portals. Was thinking of adding an option that toggles extra icons for each portal. What do you think? This might be happening in 2.2, but we don't know. So first he said that in 2.2 you can make any solid object into a disabled object and then rotate it. That's cool. And then he showed us another picture with new blocks. Checkpoints in platformer mode will not stay after you exit the level. Second of all, in 2.2 you can mark any object as untouchable, and if you really want, you can make invincible blocks on top of everything and make your own hitboxes. And last news is that in 2.2 there will be a trigger which prevents the player to control the game. So if there's a transition or something else, you cannot die by accidentally clicking. The user named Megadubstep asked if he can make the HSV values, brightness and saturation able to pick odd numbers, and Rob replied with, yes, you can set HSV values with keyboard input in 2.2. Second of all, someone asked if we can import levels as files, and he replied that it is planned in 2.3. And last but not least, ex-creator told Rob that he should fix the servers for detecting if a level has a negative group ID so the level won't crash, and it's fixed in 2.2. Geometry Dash turned 8 years old. Happy birthday! And I think we all hope that it will keep growing big and that players will enjoy the game. Okay, let's jump into the news. Some user asked if there will be a size trigger that changes the size of a group or an object, and Rob replied with, in 2.2 we will have a scale trigger. Also, Rob told us that in the future update he will add in a unique demon stat. And last but not least, Rob told us once again that the next update won't take as nearly as long as 2.2, because he will focus on working on single features one by one. As you can read here, some user asked if Rob fixed the save account progress problem, and he replied with, save accounts should work unless you have too many created levels. Also, the ID copy works in 2.2. If we will be able to use specific variables as values, for example, use item 1 as transition delay or add item to another item, and Rob replied with, eventually yes, but you may have to wait until 2.3. Today we got some news about the platformer, but before we get into that, the user asked what are the limits for the time wrap triggers, and Rob believes that it is 0.1 and 2.0. Okay, now let's get into the platformer news. The platformer mode has time or score based progression. Then Rob showed us a small clip of him playing the sneak peek 2.2 platformer level, and it looks like there's stuff added. Oh, and also it has no sound, so... As you just saw, you could climb on walls. That is only possible through the touch trigger. Normally, you can't climb walls like this. Adding follow player X trigger and also follow player X and Y for player 2 in the new upcoming 2.2 update. And Rob thinks that he added that in 2.2. Here's a video of Rob showing us how the recent level will look like in 2.2. Second news is that currently the mobile players cannot get Mega Hack on their phones, and maybe there is such an item to be found in 2.2, Rob replied. Next news is that Rob enabled all modes in platformer. I'm saying this because Rob didn't want the wave and the swingcopter to be in the platformer, as he said. He don't think wave and swing will be fun, but there you go. Was gonna exclude wave and swing, but people kept bugging me about them. Okay, cool. Next up, you can disable these shaders effects in options. And then the user asked if you can fast update descriptions and etc. And Rob replied with, you can already fast update in the description. But yeah, for 2.3 I will try to add faster setting update. And last but not least, another user asked, will there be a way to make spawn trigger loops depending on where the triggers are on the timeline in 2.2? And Rob replied with, we can look at it in 2.3. I'm sorry for not uploading for the last 2 days. I forgot about it, but hey, we got some news for today. Once again, Rob said, after 2.2 I plan on adding features one by one, so when some time passes he will stop adding stuff, and that will be the update, so it won't take too long. Another user asked if Rob will implement GD Colon's idea of a start position which determines what game mode you're in, and he replied with yeah, but not in 2.2. Spin-off games of GD will be present after 2.2 as well, and art systems are planned for 2.3. And last but not least, GD will work more stable in 2.2 on the Android 10. We have 3 news for today. First is that in 2.2 we can make portals that teleport you horizontally. Then a user asked if Rob can separate the practice attempts from the normal attempts and show a total in the end screen. He didn't confirm it for 2.2, but we might see this in the future updates. And last but not least, there was an update for iOS 15 and there is a bug in GD. Rob is aware of that and it's fixed in 2.2. A user asked if we can have a filter checkmark where we can choose untaken coins, and Rob said, maybe in the future. I'm working on upgrading servers, then maybe we can make more complicated search options. Well, Rob is currently moving the entire database and server to a new provider. It will boost the server performance and it should stop the DDoS attacks we got recently. Then a user asked if we can favorite the songs so we can see them in a list, and he said remind me after 2.2. And last but not least, Rob is trying to be more active among the community while 2.2 is out. But until then, we gotta wait. Rob said that we have bigger saves now. The old limit was 16 megabytes and now it should be 32 megabytes. A user said, dude, imagine GD search if it let you filter just like Google search does. And Rob replied with, we'll work on that stuff after 2.3. He needs to restructure the database. And then he also said, maybe we can add tags to level or something like that, but that will be in the future. Said, I think 2.3 will be epic for platformer. Too much stuff I probably haven't planned for that people will figure out after playing with platformer mode, triggers, etc. Then he said, at some point multiplayer platformer mode would be sick. No idea how to build it though, but he will figure it out at some point. And last but not least, a user asked, Rob, have you planned to add like making some complex teleport mechanics? Like if you checkmark an option, the both end portals become a start portal and entering one makes you exit the other one. And Rob replied with, you can create that in 2.2. Yesterday RobTop replied to a user, in the future a limited level version selector might be an option I guess, where you can only use certain tools and then search for levels of a specific version. In the first one, we see pads and orbs, while when clicked it imitates the spider effect. Here, take a look. In the second and third video, he shows us that you can transform into different types of blocks or spikes and fade into the spike family. Take a look. Also, he posted a new picture. Geometry bro. Just sharing things people won't understand. For fun. And here you have your 4 clips. And then some other user asked if we are going to be able to select different colors for each game mode. And Rob replied with, maybe in the future. So Rob shared these two pictures, which shows us the new currency for the platform mode. So instead of stars, we are collecting moons. Let the moon grind begin. What do you think about this? Rob is currently balancing new chests, because you guys have probably a lot of keys stored. Rob thought about adding in 5 chests, which will take you 100 keys to open, but that seems too much, as he said. So far in 2.2, we will see 10, 25 and 50 key chests. And then he came up with an idea. Pay X amount of keys to get access into a shop. You may ask yourself, how many shops are there in 2.2? A lot. Then some other user asked him what he thinks about the GD Battle Royale, and he said, if I ever add live multiplayer, sure, that would be fun. And then he gave us some example how it will look like. So 100 players, all get 100 attempts, random level from a list until only one person is left, and it's not allowed to pause the game. Well, this sounds fun. I hope this will be added in the future. What do you think about all this? The user asked if Rob has any plans on releasing 2.2 in 2022, and he said yes. Then he showed us the new treasure room and said, won't show you chest 4, 5 and 6. And as we know from the last news, there will be 25 key chests and 50 key chests. So what will be the 6th chest? Also, we might see one of the following methods to unlock chests. First is that unlocking all chests of type 1, 2 and 3 before allowed to open chests 4, 5 and 6, or unlock any chests in any order. In the next picture, we see that Rob has added the versus button, the map, events, the save and lists. What do you think will save and lists do? Then another user asked if Rob will improve the quest system, and he said not in 2.2, but will try to improve it in 2.3. Oh, and the Hall of Fame is dead. Didn't feel very useful, as he said. Okay, in 2.2, diamonds won't be useless anymore. We can unlock more areas and we can spend them to buy more stuff. Oh, and there's one last small video Rob showed us today. Bouncy monsters. In 2.3, there will be a favorite objects section in the editor. And second is that in 2.3 we can select multiple demon types at once. Maybe. GD will not come out today, as Viprint confirmed, and that was kind of obvious. I would agree this person who said, I honestly don't care about when 2.2 comes out. I just want the update not to be buggy as frick and to be polished. And yes, I do agree with this person. I and many more people want 2.2 desperately, but let Rob finish the game. I will keep you up to date on this channel. Anyway, let's go into the real news. So, you guys remember about the MDK's secret song? Here it is.
Hey Squip, do you want to hear the secret song? It looks like you do. Is that it? Okay, let's play it, okay? You're very cute.
Geometry Day.
And it looks like we are getting another sneak peek. Then a user said, I do hope some custom particles won't just lag some levels, but I'm sure you got that handled. And Rob replied with, there's an option to disable custom particles, but hopefully good creators will try to optimize stuff. And then he added that he could add hard limits to particle systems, but he is not adding it to let the system free for creators so they are not limited. Next up, we have a picture Rob posted today. And I'm not sure if we have seen this one before, but you will tell me. Then another user asked if Rob will update the server so they won't crash on the 2.2 release date. And he replied with, I bought a new, much better server, but haven't moved there yet. Been paying for it like 3 months now. Oof. Then another user asked, I noticed a minor detail in platformer mode preview. Is that cube into pieces actually gonna be a thing? And Rob replied with, it's an extra death effect you can unlock. Interesting, extra death effect? Rob is also planning on having multiple effects that you can unlock with some other ideas. And for the last news, the platformer editor will be the same editor as in the classic GD. But before this video ends, here's a picture of sexy Rob working out. Rob said, I know many of you were expecting 2.2 release 22nd. Sorry, it's not ready yet, but I'm doing my best, believe it or not. Then he said that there will be 23 new backgrounds in 2.2 and that there is a trigger to change the background scroll speed. Pretty amazing. Then a user asked if we can get leaderboards for other stats like demons and user coins, and Rob replied with, probably after 2.2. GD emotes when? Rob wild guess 2.3. Then another user asked, hey Rob, some of the 2.1 levels will be given the legendary after the update, and Rob said, not by me directly. Maybe if we do some competition where the community or mods can vote on which levels deserve it. Then Bruh asked, what are your expectations on 2.2 right now? And Rob replied with, if all goes well, 2.2 will be the start of big things for GD. If not, we all just move to Fortnite. First of all, a user asked, will 2.2 have the respawn lag bug fixed? And Rob replied with, if you mean the lag when starting from a start position, then yes. Second of all, RobTop has not planned TOE 3, so we will not see it in 2.2. This question already got answered a few times, but I will still put it in here. A user asked, when will you fix the iOS 15 thingy? And Rob replied with, it will be fixed in 2.2. Then another user asked, are you keeping the grainy glow texture? And Rob said, I'm probably gonna change UHD textures to be better format, so the graininess is removed. And last but not least, the last user asked, is the tower a place for platformer official levels? And Rob said, indeed. So Rob shared this one video with us. This is the water shader effect. You guys still remember MDK's Twitter post? He reached 10,000 followers and he showed us another small sneak peek in the new secret song for 2.2. But it's very short. And I don't know why, but he looped the song 4 times. Here, listen to this.
Geometry Dash. Geometry Dash.
Bob asked on Twitter, hey Rob, for 2.3 could you add a ghost feature for the platformer mode? And Rob replied with, there is a replay feature in 2.2, but it doesn't allow you to play at the same time. There are some issues with trying to implement a good ghost system, but I like the idea. Then another user asked, is there a feature in 2.2 where you can set up particles that can kill you? And Rob replied with, currently no collision detection implemented in the particle systems. But until then, this has been your daily GD 2.2 update for April 25th, 2022.